Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch of Crime Talk. Today on the docket, number one, Jeffrey Epstein shouldn't be that disappointed about not getting bail because he's not the only one. Next up on the docket, more judges gone wild or crazy. And third on the docket, we have a case where we're not sure if he qualifies for the dumb criminal of the week or whether it just fits into the category of you can't make this stuff up. So let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch of Crime Talk. Thank you for watching. We do appreciate it. For those of you who do not know me, I am Scott Reisch. I am a criminal defense attorney in Denver, Colorado. I have practiced criminal defense work for nearly 25 years, and we started this program so that we could talk about cases a little more in depth than what you get on the evening news. Please subscribe to the channel if you like what you are seeing. Please hit the like button if you like our video, and hit that notification if you would like to receive notifications of future videos that we put out as well as when we go live. So, first on the docket, as we talked about the other day, Jeffrey Epstein, the well-to-do, affluent socialite from New York who has already pled guilty to state prostitution charges years ago and is now being recharged in federal court in New York for child exploitation, pimping children across state lines. He was denied bail, even though he made, through his counsel, some compelling arguments to why he should at least be released, and he wasn't a flight risk, even though he had a fake passport, access to hundreds of millions of dollars, and private airplanes. Well, he shouldn't feel so bad that he's not the only one. R. Kelly, the man, the songwriter who is known for his song, I Think I Can Fly. That was the argument of his attorney in his bail proceedings this week. And he said, unlike his song, Mr. Kelly doesn't like to fly, therefore he's not a flight risk. Oh, and on top of that, Mr. R. Kelly doesn't have any money, so he has nowhere to go. That argument didn't fly with the judge, and Mr. R. Kelly will be spending his time in custody. As you may know, Mr. Kelly has had a slew of child exploitation charges over the years and has come away relatively unscathed. But now authorities in New York, state of Illinois, as well as the federal prosecutors in Illinois have got him. Not looking good for Mr. Kelly. Jeffrey Epstein should also not feel bad because a witness in the Mueller investigation, a gentleman by the name of George Nader, apparently he had some involvement somewhere along the lines in the Mueller investigation. He turned over all of his electronic devices, or they were seized. It's still unclear, and that's why I tell you that. Either way, the government got his electronic devices and found lots and lots of inappropriate images with children, some as young as the age of 3. Mr. Nader apparently had fled the country to United Arab Emirates, but returned to the United States because of health reasons, according to him, whereupon he was promptly arrested and now awaits trial while in custody. This is not Mr. Nader's first rodeo in this arena. He previously pled guilty to possession of inappropriate child images back in 1991 and also spent 1 year in prison in Czechoslovakia for the exact same thing. A lot of people believe that if you have power, fortune, and fame, that there's a separate justice system. But I believe that these several cases are an example of the fact that ultimately one will be held accountable for their actions and they will be judged like any other person. I have handled cases like all that have been described over the years. They're some of the worst type of cases, and they're the worst type of cases to take in front of a jury because of the nature of the case. Assuming you can find 12 jurors that will say that they will give you a fair trial, as soon as they are shown those images, the matter is over. So those three gentlemen, Mr. Epstein, Mr. Kelly, and Mr. Nader, there should be two words that you should be telling your defense counsel. Plea bargain. Get me a plea bargain. That's what you should be telling your attorney. Next on the docket takes us to Florida. I'm not sure if there's something in the water in Florida, but they have a lot of dumb criminals that are qualified out of there. And now we have a judge who has put her entire judicial and lawyer career in jeopardy because apparently it was a bad day. And she's not in jeopardy, I should say, not because she had a bad day and she did something stupid, but she lied about it. So there's a judge in Fort Lauderdale, Vagina Hawkins. I know what you're saying. Yes, Vagina. Common spelling, but she goes by Gina. She was a former prosecutor. She's been now appointed as a judge. And apparently she was having a bad day. Such a bad day, she thought that her clerk or her judicial assistant was not moving quickly enough, processing some paperwork. Apparently grabbed the clerk by his neck and shook him. Now, the clerk made a complaint to the Judicial Commission. The Judicial Commission then has to investigate the circumstances of it. Well, fortunately, all we had was the video to see who was telling the truth. Unfortunately for Judge Hawkins, she lied even after she had an opportunity to review the video, claiming that she doesn't recall doing that and she must have been crying and not paying attention. If she is suspended by the Florida Judicial Commission, it's not going to be because she put hands on this clerk, although that's a pretty good reason to do that, but because she lied about it. Okay? We all make mistakes. And when she's in that type of position, she as a judge has to be the first one to admit that she had a mistake. Public officials have to be held to a higher standard than everybody else. Bottom line. And if they can't be held to that standard, if they fall below it, they have to go. Judge Hawkins, we'll see what the Judicial Commission does for her or to her, but I just don't think she has the judicial temperament to be a judge. I've handled a case like the next case we're going to talk about, and you just have to scratch your head and think, what in the hell were people doing? There is a man in the state of Nebraska. There's a gentleman by the name of Travis Fieldgrove in Nebraska. Apparently, he had a daughter out of wedlock to a woman. The daughter's born. The daughter asks her mother to let her know who the father is. It turns out that it's Mr. Fieldgrove. Apparently, the daughter has a stepsister. During this relationship with her newfound father, apparently a bet ensues between daughter and stepdaughter as to who could be the first one to have sex with Mr. Fieldgrove. If you guessed that it was the daughter, you guessed correctly. Obviously, Mr. Fieldgrove was charged with various sexual crimes, including incest. But wait, there's more. Instead of simply stop seeing each other, realizing that this was illegal, as well as wrong in many other ways, what did they do? They decided to get married. The defense for Mr. Fieldgrove attempted to show that he was not the father and could not have been the father because his name did not appear on the birth certificate, and he simply could not have committed the crime of incest. Unfortunately for him, the DNA for both him and his daughter came back, and there was a 99.9999999% chance that it was his daughter. He ultimately pled guilty, and Mr. Fieldgrove is going to be serving time in custody. The only thing that is more sad about this case is how stupid he could be, and two, you just can't make this stuff up. It's a sad, sad situation. I've handled a case like this in the past, but what was even more shocking in our particular incident was that there was a child born, and the people held themselves out as husband and wife. It goes into the you cannot make this stuff up category. Sad case. Thank God, no children here. All right. This video was made not to bring everybody down, but maybe to show that there is, in fact, a little justice in the world. And hopefully all those children out there that have been mistreated will get some justice, whether it's from Mr. Epstein, Mr. Nader, or Mr. Kelly. Mr. Fieldgrove, I'm not sure there's much we can do for him, but have a great weekend. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later on Crime Talk.